scratch. In 2035, Oregon, like much of the United States, lies nearly catatonic in the wake of cascading climate disasters and societal collapse. The erosion of governing institutions and leadership left society to survive on its own. No one is coming to help. While Oregon once enjoyed pockets of prosperity, it is now a patchwork of isolated communities struggling for survival amidst the ruins of the old world. The coastal regions, battered by rising seas and increasingly violent storms, have largely been abandoned. Those who remain eke out a precarious existence through fishing, scavenging, and local exchange. They lean on indigenous communities, knowledge, and stewardship models for support. The once majestic forests of Oregon, ravaged by unrelenting year-round wildfires, stand as blackened skeletons across vast swaths of lands. Oregon's major cities are now mostly collections of fortified neighborhoods separated by overgrown, dangerous no-man's lands. Portland's famous bridges, many on the verge of collapse and under never-ending repair, serve as stark reminders of the interconnectedness lost. In the Willamette Valley, small farming collectives proliferate, desperately trying to cultivate crops in increasingly unpredictable weather patterns. They are seeing some early success. Communication between people and between communities is limited and sometimes dangerous. Makeshift radio networks serve as tenuous lifelines, sharing vital information about resources, weather patterns, and the movements of hostile groups. Those hostile groups are often listening to the channels as well, looking for easy prey to pillage. In the high desert of central and eastern Oregon, nomadic groups move with the seasons, mixing tech-enabled survival techniques with practices long known to indigenous communities. These groups often clash with settled communities over resources. The daily reality for most Oregonians is one of constant vigilance and hard labor. Communities must be ever watchful for roving gangs who bring violence or desperate climate refugees who bring heartbreaking need. They keep their focus on subsistence agriculture and maintaining what little technology still functions. Nevertheless, people are finding their lost ingenuity and resilience in the struggle. Some even talk about not missing the old world. Education now focuses almost entirely on practical survival skills, with the remnants of scientific knowledge preserved by a dedicated few who hope to one day rebuild. The concept of work, as it was known, has mostly disappeared, replaced by a communal imperative to contribute to survival. Despite the harsh realities, pockets of hope persist. Some communities have managed to create sustainable microeconomies, powered by salvaged solar panels and wind turbines. These rare havens of relative stability attract both those seeking refuge and those looking to exploit, creating a constant tension between compassion and self-preservation. Centralized governance, as it once existed, has crumbled, although the shell of authority does its best to maintain control. In its place, a mix of local mutual aid networks and authoritarian warlords hold sway over different regions. These factions constantly vie for control of the scarce remaining resources, particularly water and arable land. As Oregon and the nation at large grapple with this new, brutal reality, the lessons of the past, the dangers of unchecked greed and environmental negligence, serve as both a haunting reminder and a potential guide for those daring to imagine a rebuilt future. Green shoots of a humbled but human-centered society are starting to spring up in Oregon and around the world. Maybe, after all this struggle, a better world might yet lie ahead.